popular storytelling series returns to the stage this Thursday at the Florida Theater. Joining me to talk about the series' fourth season is and its creative theme is artistic director and host Barbara Colaciello. Good morning, Barbara.
Hi, Anne.
Nice to have you. Also, one of the featured storytellers, Linda Altman. Good morning, Linda.
Good morning.
Nice to see you. Nice to meet you. Barbara, the theme of this season's performances is wave. Um, the goal obviously is to be broad in these topic areas, but how do you choose the actual prompts?
Yeah, this year it's wave, cloud, trail, route. So I just meditated on Jacksonville and I wanted to come up with words that were nouns, but also verbs.
Uh-huh. You're like a driving
S-
me crazy on Wordle and match, right? It's like, yeah.
and so when I say to somebody, cloud, something that, is cloudy, but also, and so with wave, there's just so many things that you could think about.
Yeah.
And but what we're finding out with all the stories, because wave is that ebb and flow, and we think of the waves of life, right? So the stories do have the highs and the lows, and I think it's also about moving through. A lot of the stories are moving through
Mm.
and learning how to surf.
What
you know.
without giving too much away, what are the some of the various interpretations that you've seen of that word?
Wave, one of the stories, a very memorable, waving goodbye to something. Also, like receiving, bringing something, like bring it on. Um, birth wave. There's a story that has to do with birthing.
Mm.
And uh, Linda could probably talk about how she attacked it. Um, yeah.
Yeah, Linda, well, so you are one of the featured storytellers. Is this your first time doing an Untold Stories?
Yes.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about your own story, the theme, how you incorporated it.
Wow.
Without giving it away.
Right.
Well, what is the wave in your story? How's that?
I think it's the waves of life, the ups and downs, having something affect you so deeply that you ride to the top and you're excited, and then the next moment you're down.
Hmm.
So just those ups and downs of life.
You are a Jacksonville native, or you grew up in
I
Jacksonville.
grew up in Jacksonville, you're right.
And you do a lot of things in the arts. I mean, you do ceramics, you do photography, you're a creative writer. How does all of that fit into what you bring to your performance?
Wow. I think of we all have stories within us that are just stored in there. And one of the things that I really enjoyed about this, as a creative writer, you're very descriptive, right? So, one of the things that Babs has helped me do is to hone my story and to shape my story into something very succinct instead of it being this long creative story and something that I could get on stage and tell within like 10 or 12 minutes.
How does she do that? Like, how does she kind of guide you or shepherd you to the place you need to be? Is she brusque? Is she demanding? Or is she just sort of gentle in her advice?
All of the above.
Okay.
Demanding. I guess there are points where I'll be like, no, it needs to be this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's a rhythm thing. As we get closer to performance, it's getting people to take those words off the page.
Uh-huh.
And so you wouldn't say it like that. You wrote it like that, but you wouldn't have the comma and the da ba da ba da ba.
Mhm.
It's just like boom,
Yeah.
and it's almost like I start saying, act like you're a stand-up comic.
Do you find that people's written stories change once they start
They have
speaking them
to.
through? Yeah.
They have to. If they
Yeah.
don't, if you could tell when they've completely memorized it and it sounds like like a writer who's giving a
Reading.
talk.
Yeah.
And I really that's why we do a story workshop, like it's 4 hours long to find their authentic voice and just to get them into storytelling mode
Yeah.
rather than story shaping. I use the word shaping because that's different than when you tell something. It's more like a report. If you shape your words, you stick to the paper. So it's shaping.
Yeah.
the sounds, and that makes a good dynamic speaker.
Do you select performers and assign the topic, or do you ask for submissions on a topic and then choose the storytellers that do it best?
Oh, I tell you what, casting, finding people, the right people for the right theme is very challenging. It's like, you get a one peg, you have a storyteller with one theme, and like I'll know instinctively this person can perform. They're not going to have a problem with doing the performance. But the ADHD, I'm going to have a problem getting them
Mhm.
to actually write the script, but they're really magical and they really have a good story. So it's some people, everybody brings different strengths,
Yeah.
and we have to, I have to work with each person.
All right. Well, that is all the time we have. But Linda Altman, it's a delight to meet you. Have a
Nice
great
to meet you.
performance.
Thank
Break a
you.
leg Thursday night at the Florida Theater.
Come, it's good.
And people may need a break from election stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Gonna
All
be
yes.
right.
It's
fun.
wonderful just to
Barbara
listen to one
Colaciello.
another.
Barbara Colaciello, thank you also for being here.